Good morning everyone, and today we're checking out a video from Goji Center about how the T-Rex may have butchered its prey in the past. 5 horrible ways from Goji Center. Let's check it out.
Today on Goji Center, our brand new testing facility will bear witness to many gruesome demonstrations, showcasing the brutal methods the Tyrannosaurus Rex leveraged its natural skills and physical prowess to bring pain and death to any creature sitting in the lower ranks of the Cretaceous food chain. These demonstrations are not for the weak, so if you have the balls to stay until the end, prove it. Hit that subscribe button, grab that raincoat, and prepare for the worst ways T-Rex killed prey. Method number 1, pinned and rendered. We'll waste no time and start this list with a horrible method of killing. Throughout the entire duration of some life on Earth, some things have never changed. Dinosaurs from past and present sometimes employ very similar tactics when dispatching prey. That quote, "you are alive when they start to eat you," wasn't just to strike fear in children. Watching how modern-day dinosaurs such as hawks or eagles eat only reminds us of the bitter truth of this statement. If it's not obvious already, it doesn't take a genius to realize that this fella, the T-Rex, was a pretty heavy animal, weighing in at an average of 11 tons with some specimens.
Wait, the average height for these things is only 15 feet? Huh. That's actually not surprisingly too big.
Such as Edie Cope, for instance, probably weighing even more. Why is this important? When attacking medium-sized prey such as a juvenile hadrosaur, the T-Rex would have employed its hind limbs to project all the crushing weight of its body on the poor victim, stomping onto and holding the poor animal still for it to later bring down its primary weapon, its bone-crushing jaws. Now, this is a good time to study these jaws a little bit more, since we'll be seeing...
each one of those teeth is about the size of an average banana.
...them in action for the remainder of this episode. Unlike the majority of dinosaurs, T-Rex had different tooth shapes in the mouth and roots anchored twice as deep as comparable-sized animals like Giganotosaurus.
Oh, well, shit,
A study
I
by
didn't know
Dr.
that.
Miriam Reichel found out that T-Rex teeth actually varied in shape and were specialized for different uses. Let us explain.
Please,
the
go on.
front incisor teeth were peg-shaped and recurved. So, in a way, they served as a hawk's hooked beak. Less for slicing, but more for tugging, rending, and tearing hunks of meat. This flesh would be yanked upwards violently thanks to the Rex's powerful neck muscles. Note that these teeth were thick and very strong, which they needed to be, especially given the type of prey that the T-Rex had to hunt. Any lesser teeth would not cut it in this ecosystem full of dangerous and well-armored herbivores.
Oh yeah, with most
for this episode, Goji Center leased a T-Rex for testing out these different methods of killing. Thanks to Beastopia, who allowed their T-Rex to come to our facility for testing. Make sure you check their video out featuring this very same T-Rex being compared in detail with Rexy from Jurassic Park. Links in the description.
Hey, that's actually
As mentioned earlier, a T-Rex of this size and stability wouldn't even need to wait until the victim died to start eating. Crushing weight and a superfluous amount of blood loss would instigate death in seconds. As seen here, one single bite can part hundreds of kilos of tissue. This same method can be used to pull off entire limbs. It takes a tremendous amount of strength to yank off a limb attached with flesh, tendons, and ligaments. But T-Rex does this with ease. Up next, we'll prepare a real challenge for this T-Rex. Method number 2, decapitated. Yeah, this isn't truly a Goji Center analysis without this specific method of killing. For all the power and might T-Rex once had, some portions of a carcass are more trouble than they're worth. This here is a Triceratops, perhaps the most dangerous animal to the T-Rex thanks to its high agility, brow horns, but mostly because of what goes on back here.
Hold on, we're talking about the Triceratops, right? What kind of agility does this thing have? No, honestly, I have no idea. No one ever talked about the Triceratops having agility. They say it has great defense, but that's it.
Here, a frill protecting a marvel of natural engineering. The frill of a Triceratops is both solid and thick, built for display and deflecting attacks from its own kind. And its only real natural predator, the T-Rex. This impressive feat of bioengineering would be extremely difficult to bite through for even a fully grown T-Rex.
It is
but
something to
below
grab.
this frill was the real prize. Enormous, nutrient-rich muscles with enormous amounts of calories if they could be accessed. And the T-Rex knows this. In response, not only will we see a grim method of killing, but also an impressive demonstration of T-Rex intelligence. For this test session, and to avoid injuring our least T-Rex, we'll unleash an adolescent Triceratops for the T-Rex to demonstrate this specific kill. After biting it
Adolescent. I believe that means it just became an adult.
to the top of the neck behind the frill, shattering its vertebrae, the T-Rex will quickly follow this maneuver with a good hold on the back of the frill, biting down hard enough to pierce the bone. An adult T-Rex would press down on the carcass and with its strong muscles and weight, pull into different directions. Under this much stress, even the great Triceratops' structural engineering would get pushed past its limits. Muscle is torn,
Finally!
vertebrae are wrenched out of socket, and blood spills everywhere. Not only
Dude just straight up got Mortal Kombat.
ripping the head off, but also reaching the valuable calorie-dense tissues. Note how this behavior is not rare in the modern relatives. Several types of predatory birds are well documented in decapitating prey in order to better access the tasty throat and chest interior tissue. So next time you're walking outside and find a small head lying around, very likely a bird of prey who did this. Method number 3,
I love
roasted. Now it's time for things to get a little bit more messy. Not every meal a T-Rex has was a large animal. Any good opportunist is going to exploit any prey item possible. While a fully grown T-Rex wouldn't have been as fast as some smaller prey, it could still manage to add them to the menu by various other sneaky methods, some of which are employed by many carnivores today. Exhaustion by pacing after prey and running them to the ground after they're tired, or using the thick pads on their feet to quiet down their footsteps for an ambush. Some
Two methods. One, gonna slam attack him with the speed, or two, sneak up and strike.
more or less dirty tactics, such as attacking while prey was sleeping, was likely a common method of hunting.
Probably.
Inevitably, smaller carnivores will show up trying to contest a carcass, like the large raptors which lived in the Hell Creek Formation. Except in this case, they might wind up being the appetizer if they didn't back off. Now, you may know where we are going with this. The force of these jaws is
Go on.
borderline legendary. Now imagine all the force of those jaws multiplied by tens of thousands of newtons of teeth biting down on a target the size of a rhino, or a cow, or person.
Oh,
In this scenario, we'll unleash
it's just gonna strip like a hot knife through butter. There you go.
2 Dakota Raptors and see which one of these is stupid enough to try to get too close to the T-Rex's meal.
Oh, found
Let's
it.
pause here to see what's happening. The sheer force of the crunch would instantly transfer across the entire body. Ribcage breaks, vertebrae and joints would be wrenched out of the sockets, muscle and other tissue would be ripped out of place. Death
Look
would
at
come
that.
so fast that besides a brief wheeze of air getting blasted free of the lungs and air pockets, the victim wouldn't even have a moment to cry out. So really,
It's already
the raptor
dead.
would just pop like a grape, and bones exploded to shards, turned into a pulp. Number 4, crippled. Usually, if you can't move,
Oh,
then
dear.
you'll likely have a harder time fighting back, and intelligent predators like the T-Rex knew this quite well. While an adult T-Rex had a top speed of around 12 to 15 miles per hour, some of its prey animals like the Edmontosaurus could match or even surpass these speeds depending on the individual. The tails of these animals could prove to be formidable weapons to hurt an attacker, with
Especially with
forces
those jagged
comparable to
bits.
car crashes. Chasing something like that is risky business. In the modern day, similar to the Edmontosaurus, whose means of offense and mobility are tied together, zebras are sometimes targeted on the legs. Lions would use their own weight and weapons to restrain and disable both their means of escape and fighting back. In this demonstration, T-Rex will be tasked with bringing down this Edmontosaurus, but it won't seek to damage just any muscle. it's going to go for the cauda femoralis. This muscle linked
The
both
what?
the tail and legs, so if torn or bitten into, the further
Ooh.
movement of this muscle would be extremely painful. The Edmontosaurus would fall with its legs and tail disabled, unable to run away or fight back. Evidence of this
It's already crippled? How the hell did he do that so fast?
that is found in a broken
Like,
tooth
damn.
lodged in the tailbone of an Edmontosaurus. The T-Rex that bit into this tail failed because it lacked the full force of an adult T-Rex. But these juveniles would bring forth their own method of hunting down prey: bullying. Or we can call this method number 5, mobbed. Living in a world where your only
Great, they're gonna
sources of
jump
food
them.
are well-armed herbivores meant young Tyrannosaurus would have to get creative when bringing down prey. Best solution in this case was to hunt in packs, since T-Rexes didn't really grow in bulk and strength at a consistent rate. Studies show that T-Rex would start to bulk in its later stages of growth at around age 15. Before that, it would still be a long, tall animal, but nowhere near as strong as a full-grown adult.
No,
With disadvantage came huge perks. These youngsters were lean, agile,
Is it
and
catty?
capable of keeping pace with virtually every other carnivore in the area, including large raptors. While they lacked the crushing bite power of the parents, they still sported knife-like serrated teeth. Fossils of large herbivores covered in gnashing bite wounds heavily imply that multiple attackers were involved, more or less like a pack of wolves constantly biting prey until it succumbs to its wounds. In this scenario, this hadrosaur will be attacked by a holographic, simulated pack of juvenile rexes, constantly biting into the victim until the overwhelming amount of bites and gnashing wounds bring it to the floor.
They're
But
just
is there more
holograms, they're not even
concrete
there.
evidence for this behavior? The dueling dinosaur specimen might even have captured a snapshot of just such an event. More research is ongoing on this find, but this might prove one of the most spectacular fossil findings of all. In this instance, Triceratops may have potentially managed to kill one of its attackers, but had already suffered numerous wounds and was set upon by other T-Rexes. The broken off teeth of its chief attacker still lodged in its neck. No matter how big or how small a T-Rex was, those mutilated and injured by this predator found that death was the only relief.
Well, that is a reason why its name literally translates to the King of the Lizards. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.